this is part of the South Battery. And this mounted a huge 15-inch Rodman gun, a smoothbore muzzle-loading cannon that fired a, 500-pound shell about 3 miles. These were the most advanced of the muzzle-loading guns, and these were built during the Civil War and used into the 1890s. And right over here we have a powder magazine where they stored the gunpowder for these huge cannons. And we'll walk down and take a look at the entrance. Right behind us, the brick building, it's had an addition put on it, was the Quartermaster Corps storehouse where they stored all of the supplies for the fort. Then this gray building right down here was the minefield cable tank that planted mines in the harbor, in the channels during wartime, and this is where the cable was issued. We showed you where the enlisted men lived. Now we're up on a hill, and who do you suppose lived up on a hill in these fancy houses like the one in the background? The officers. During the Revolution, George Washington, the commander of the Continental Army, decided to follow the European tradition of keeping officers and enlisted men separate. And the Army and the Navy and the Air Corps have done that ever since. These two were single officers' quarters, meaning one officer and his family and servants lived here, and they're very elegant inside. They have hardwood and plaster and the pressed metal ceilings, fireplaces with enameled stone on them, and again servants, because officers were, not overly paid, but they were paid well, and they also had quarters provided for them, and were able to afford servants. So it wasn't a bad life, particularly when there wasn't a war. This building, which you can see has been modernized, was the 1900 fire station. It had 2 fire engines in there, and the thing sticking up is the hose tower where they hung the hoses to dry. And then right next to it is the bakery. This is where they did all the baking, particularly bread, but bread and rolls and and everything that were used in the barracks and the officers' quarters. And if you turn right around here, we're on the back side of the barracks, and I'm not sure which end. One of these ends was the bakery and the mess hall, and so the bread that they made in the bakery would come right over here to this barracks, and then to the one across the parade ground.
This is the project Tristan Mill and Sage did on Fort Preble, and this is some of the information we got. Fort Preble was built in 1808 and was built to protect South Portland. This is some of the things they built on Fort Preble. They made a hospital in 1901 with 12 beds and 70 people. Made post headquarters in 1904. They made a fire station in 1901. A guardhouse in the 1900s with 20 prisoners. Some of the prisoners were bad soldiers that didn't do what they were supposed to do and were put there. They also built officer headquarters in 1903.
In the war, they used light artillery. During the 1st and 19th century, American soldiers trained there. Fort Preble used to be Fort Hancock. In 1952, the state of Maine gained control of it. The cool thing is that there are still gun mounts for the cannons. Believe it or not, the Indians made several attacks upon the fort, but were successfully repulsed in 1758. Sometimes ships would find themselves stranded on the side of Fort Preble because of the channel. July 1861, Fort Preble was designated as the headquarters of the regiment. In early July, the officers commenced to assemble there.
1862, Dearborn named the Fort Preble in honor of Commander Edward Preble and Fort Scammell in honor of Alexander Scammell. June 26, 1863. During the Civil War, Fort Preble was involved in an Altercation between Confederate soldiers on June 26, 1863. The Confederate soldiers sailed into Casco Bay aboard the stolen vessel. Archer dictated and captured the vessel, killed Cushing.
April 13th, 1894. President McKinley named the one-time subpost for Fort Preble. Cape Elizabeth's first military fortification was Fort Williams. Fort Preble is known on the land of SMCC, Southern Maine Community College.
The end.